Puberty and Reproduction, 5th grade. Preparation before instruction. Provide students an index card that they can use to write down questions during or after the presentation. At the end of the presentation, collect the cards and answer and discuss questions aloud that are appropriate for the grade level. When answering student questions, keep in mind that each student in class are different in their learning and development. All questions should be treated seriously and deserves a response. Rephrase questions to make appropriate. Don't allow another student to answer a student's question, as it could throw discussion off track and provide incorrect or inappropriate information. Answers should be succinct, factual, and use appropriate terminology. Never imply morality or right versus wrong. When answering student questions, allow follow-up questions. Encourage students to ask an adult they can trust. If a student asks a question that is not appropriate for that grade, please use the following script or language. That is a good question. However, I am not going to answer it now as I have information to cover. I will get this information for you and get back to you before the next class. In answering a student with this response, it allows you to talk to the child and suggest that he or she ask their parent or guardian. Virginia standards of learning that are covered in this lesson include 5.1, the student will define the structure and function of the endocrine system. 5.2, the student will identify the human reproductive organs in relation to the total anatomy. 5.3, the student will explain how human beings reproduce. 5.4, the student will recognize the relationship between the physical changes that occur during puberty and the developing capacity for reproduction. And 5.14, the student will become aware of the existence of sexually transmitted infection. Start! Everything that we are going to talk about is perfectly normal and natural. Classroom rules for family life education. Be respectful at all times. Write questions down and save until the end of the presentation. Talk to your parents and friends and school nurse. Do not share this information with younger children. Puberty. Puberty, the physical changes in humans that happen during adolescence, typically between the ages of 9 and 16. It's due to increased levels in hormones in the body. The pituitary gland that reduces hormones and is located at the base of the brain. Hormones, natural chemicals in the body that cause change in the body's cells or organs. Why does this happen? The endocrine system, a body system that secretes hormones directly into the bloodstream. Hormones, chemical substances that affect the activity of another part of the body. Hormones are like messengers. Here's a diagram of the endocrine system. Both the pituitary gland and adrenal glands play a large role in the changes during puberty. The pituitary gland is located at the base of the brain and is often referred to as the master gland. This gland releases hormones that cause the body to grow. Female growth and development. Notice the 3 stages of female growth and development to the right: before puberty, during puberty, and adulthood. For girls, hair grows in armpits and in the pubic region. Females' hips may also widen. Breasts develop and nipples enlarge. Skin becomes more oily and acne may develop, so washing your face with mild soap a couple of times a day may help minimize those changes. Menstruation. If pregnancy does not occur, the lining of the uterus will shed. This is known as the menstrual flow or period, part of the maturation process for females. As eggs develop, the interior lining of the uterus thickens to prepare for pregnancy. This is usually a 28-day cycle. This process is known as menstruation. Male growth and development. Notice the 3 stages of male growth and development to the right: before puberty, during puberty, and adulthood. During puberty, boys develop hair in their pubic region, under the arms, and on the chest. As males grow, the penis and scrotum begin to enlarge and redden. A boy's voice also deepens because the vocal cords thicken. Males may also begin to have erections and nocturnal emissions. What does developing into an adult mean? It means that your body's reproductive system is developing the capacity or ability to reproduce or have babies. The female reproductive system. This is a frontal view of the female reproductive system, which includes the ovaries, fallopian tubes, vagina, and the uterus. The eggs in the female reproductive cell are located in the ovaries, all 600,000 of them. During puberty, a few hundred eggs mature. The male reproductive system. This is a side view of the male reproductive system. The male reproductive organs, the penis and scrotum, are outside the body. The scrotum is a loose sac of skin that holds the testes or testicles. The testes produce the sperm, or the male reproductive cell. The penis holds the urethra, which carries both urine and semen out of the body. Fertilization. In order to make a baby, the egg must be fertilized. Fertilization is the union, or the coming together, of egg and sperm. Notice the sperm and the egg coming together in the image below. How does the sperm get to the egg? As you can see in the image below, the sperm travels through the cervix and into the uterus. Each month, an egg is released from the ovary and travels down the fallopian tube. If a sperm is present to fertilize the egg, pregnancy can occur. If the egg is not fertilized, it continues through the uterus and menstruation begins. Pregnancy. If the egg is fertilized by the sperm, it continues through the fallopian tube to the uterus and implants in its lining. If this happens, a mom has just become pregnant. Before a baby is born, it is called a fetus. The uterus expands as the fetus grows. It takes about 9 months for a baby to grow. Take note of the different stages of fetal growth in the image on the right. Sexually transmitted infections, or STIs. They are spread from person to person through sexual contact. These infections are difficult to track since most people infected do not show symptoms right away. There are two main types, bacterial and viral. There are various treatments for certain STIs. However, some, such as HIV or AIDS, have no cure. Abstinence or postponing sexual activity is the only method to prevent sexually transmitted infections. Common bacterial STIs include chlamydia and gonorrhea. These symptoms can show up immediately or not for weeks, making it tough to treat. If untreated, it can cause other diseases and serious health issues, such as infertility. Viral STIs include genital herpes, human papillomavirus, HPV, human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, and acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or AIDS. Most of these infections do not have symptoms. If untreated, they could lead to cancer or even death. Remember, during and after puberty, your hygiene will need to change. Increased hormones may make you emotional. Everything you will experience is normal. It's okay to ask questions. Any questions?